Hi friends, have you subscribed yet? Subscribe, it's important to me. The gift from her lover. Life seemed pretty stable for Arthur. He had been married to Olivia for 10 years. They had a cozy apartment in New York City, 2 dogs, and a cat that honestly didn't care much for anyone. It was a typical family life filled with routine, but there was something comforting in that routine. However, as the saying goes, the devil is in the details, and soon Arthur would realize just how true that was. One evening, as they were getting ready to attend a dinner party with friends, Arthur noticed something unusual. Olivia had put on a pair of earrings that he definitely didn't recognize. He prided himself on knowing all of her jewelry, at least the ones he had bought her. But these were in a different league altogether, expensive, elegant, and clearly not his style of gifting. Nice earrings, Arthur commented casually, buttoning up his shirt in front of the mirror. Olivia barely glanced at him as she applied her lipstick. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Arthur raised an eyebrow. Where did you get them? I don't remember buying those for you. She paused, her fingers lingering on the tube of lipstick. Oh, they're an old gift from my mom. Arthur squinted. Your mom? Really? I thought your mom only gave you scarves and tea sets. Didn't realize she was into diamonds now. Olivia laughed nervously. Yeah, well, maybe I forgot about them. Found them in an old jewelry box. The detective and Arthur stirred. He didn't press her further, deciding to let the issue go for now, but his curiosity was piqued. A few days passed, but Arthur couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. He knew Olivia's jewelry collection inside out, and those earrings. They were new. Things got even weirder when he saw her come home from shopping with some grocery bags one afternoon. Inside one of the bags, amidst the bread and milk, was a small box from an upscale jewelry store, one he couldn't afford to shop at without having a heart attack after seeing the price tag. What's this? Arthur asked, trying to keep his voice light, though inside, he was getting suspicious. Olivia smiled almost too quickly. Oh, just a little gift to myself. Sometimes you just gotta treat yourself, right? Arthur raised an eyebrow. A gift to yourself? Interesting tradition. Mind if I take a peek at what you treated yourself to? Olivia hesitated for a split second before reluctantly opening the box. Inside were 2 beautifully crafted gold bracelets. Wow, treating yourself pretty well, huh? Those couldn't have come cheap. Are you sure you didn't secretly win the lottery or open a black market business? Olivia chuckled nervously, stuffing the box back into the bag. It was on sale, that's all. Arthur nodded, but mentally filed that away. It still didn't feel right. Then, a few days later, he found something even more suspicious, this time in the car. A pair of new luxury stockings, still with a price tag attached, was sitting in the back seat, but Olivia hadn't mentioned buying any new clothes recently. He decided to confront her. One evening, as she lounged on the couch with a glass of wine, Arthur casually dropped the stockings in front of her. Lose something? He asked, watching her face closely. Olivia's eyes flickered with confusion for a moment before she forced a smile. Oh, those. Yeah, I must have forgotten about them. Bought them on sale. Arthur raised both eyebrows. Funny, they're still in the packaging, and these aren't really your usual style. She blushed slightly, but shrugged it off. You know me, always experimenting with fashion. Arthur didn't say anything, but the pieces of the puzzle were slowly coming together in his mind. His wife wasn't being entirely honest. Then came the night of the party at Olivia's friend's place. She had planned to go out drinking, and Arthur was supposed to pick her up later in the evening. Feeling uneasy, Arthur decided to show up a bit earlier. When he entered the house, he couldn't believe his eyes. Olivia, clearly drunk, was clinging onto some guy, laughing and whispering in his ear. The man had his arm around her waist in a way that was far too familiar for Arthur's liking. Without a word, Arthur walked up to the guy and, before Olivia could even react, gave him a firm punch to the stomach. The man doubled over, gasping for air, while Olivia shrieked. What the hell are you doing, Arthur? Olivia slurred, trying to stand upright. Arthur glared at her, his hands clenched into fists. What do you think? Just picking up my wife, who seems to have forgotten she's married. When they got home, Arthur could barely contain his anger. He poured himself a whiskey and sat on the couch, watching Olivia stumble to bed. Something inside him snapped. He couldn't shake the feeling that there was more going on than she was letting on. And then he did something he never thought he would do. He grabbed her phone. It was unlocked, and as soon as he opened her messages, his worst fears were confirmed. There, in a thread of text with someone named Kyle, was the proof. The conversation was loaded with flirtatious messages, suggestive comments, and far too much familiarity. Arthur scrolled through the messages, his heart sinking as he read one of the latest exchanges. Kyle, you sure your idiot husband won't figure this out? Olivia, lol, trust me, he has no clue. He's too busy playing family man. Arthur's jaw tightened. He couldn't believe it. He decided to have some fun with this. Still logged in as Olivia, he began typing back to Kyle. Arthur, as Olivia. Hey, want to meet up tonight? My idiot husband is fast asleep. Kyle replied almost instantly. Kyle, you're on. Where should we meet, babe? Arthur, as Olivia. How about by the old warehouse at the docks? I'll be waiting. Kyle, love the sound of that. See you in an hour. Arthur smirked. Oh, you'll see me all right, he muttered under his breath. Later that night, Arthur drove down to the meeting spot, waiting in the shadows. Soon enough, Kyle's car rolled up. The man swaggered out, clearly expecting a different kind of night. Arthur stepped out of the darkness, his face unreadable. Kyle's eyes widened. Wait, who the hell are you? Arthur walked up slowly, cracked his knuckles, and smirked. I'm the idiot husband you've been texting. Before Kyle could react, Arthur delivered a solid punch straight to his nose. Kyle staggered back, blood streaming from his face. That's for calling me an idiot, Arthur said calmly, wiping his hand on his jacket. Kyle, holding his nose, mumbled something unintelligible and scurried back to his car. Arthur watched him drive off before turning to walk back to his own car. The next morning, Olivia found herself sitting in front of a furious Arthur. I read the text, Olivia, he said, his voice deadly calm. You're done. She paled. Arthur, wait, let me explain. It wasn't what it looked like. Oh, it wasn't? Arthur snapped. That maybe explain why your lover was waiting at the docks for you. Olivia stammered, trying to come up with an excuse, but Arthur had already made up his mind. I want a divorce, he said coldly. You're not the wife or the mother I thought you'd be. I'm done with your games. And that was it. Olivia's pleas fell on deaf ears as Arthur packed his bags and left, leaving her to reflect on the shattered pieces of their marriage. Arthur's decision was clear, and although the process of moving on was difficult, he knew he deserved better. As for Olivia, she was left to live with the consequences of her actions, and her affair with Kyle, well, that ended shortly after. Arthur moved on, stronger and smarter, while Olivia, she kept asking about their daughter from time to time, but Arthur knew one thing. He had saved his daughter from a life surrounded by lies.